So I thought it was about time that we did a video kind of breaking down absolutely everything that we know so far about the Lost Island free DLC that we're getting later on in this year. So we're going to be going over the 3 exclusive creatures to this map, the map itself, and then also let's speculate on what the hell this boss fight's gonna be, because we have no information about that so far. So make sure that you guys hit the like button if you found yourself enjoying this video, and also subscribe. We're aiming for 1 million subs by the end of this year, and only with your help can I get there. Now let's get into the video. So first things first, let's talk about the creatures. We've got 3 exclusive creatures coming to this map. They were all at one point real life dinosaurs, and first up we have the Amargasaurus, which was the one that Wildcard just announced. They chose it themselves and they put it into the game. Next up, we had the Dinopithecus, which is the creature that won the creature vote that we had a couple months ago. And then we had the Sinomacrops, which was another creature in that vote. I think it came like 3rd or 4th or something. But Wildcard really liked this creature and they just decided to add it anyway, which honestly kind of annoyed a lot of people, but personally, I don't know. It actually sounds pretty good, so I'm kind of okay with that. So I'm going to give you a quick refresher of all of the dossiers of these creatures, and then we're going to talk about them individually, starting with the Amargasaurus. Of all the creatures in the sauropod family, Amargasaurus titanicus is likely the most unique in appearance. It sports 2 parallel rows of dorsal spines down the length of its neck, back, and tail, though its neck spines are significantly longer than the back or tail spines. These spines are a remarkable adaptation, giving Amargasaurus unmatched control of its body temperature. Made even more marvelous by their time on this ARK, their spines store both extreme heat and extreme cold, effectively allowing Amargasaurus to live comfortably in any environment. Its sails also make it an abnormally capable swimmer for a sauropod. Unlike most sauropods, Amargasaurus is prone to violent aggression, attacking most predators and humans on sight. I suspect this behavior developed alongside the dangerous spines it uses as weapons. Once finally tamed, it's no surprise that Amargasaurus's regenerating spines can be put to potent use. If removed early, their thermal storage becomes erratic, which is perfect for catalyzing sap extraction from large trees. Some tribes have inevitably adapted their thermal quirk for combat. By coaxing the Amargasaurus to eject a spine before it sheds naturally, the disruptive thermal waves which emanate from the spike can wreak havoc on nearby armor materials. Interestingly, simple armor is barely affected, while armor constructed of more complex attributes are rendered largely useless. Such a strange reaction. But then, little about this particular ARK seems sensible to me. So what did we learn about the Amargasaurus? Well, first of all, it's going to be a fantastic creature to travel around with. It's going to be able to keep you completely insulated in hot areas and cold areas, but then it's also going to be able to swim, which is a pretty nice little addition for a sauropod, to be honest. By the way, if you're looking to try and get like a gauge of how big this thing is going to be, I would say it's roughly around the same size as a Diplo. It's probably not going to be as chunky as a Diplo, and it's obviously not going to have the giant whip tail as a Diplo, so it's not going to be as long, but roughly around that exact same size is what I would say. Another thing that we learned is that it's going to be a fantastic creature for gathering sap. Now, I don't believe there's any actual creature that can just hit a redwoods tree and give you sap. Obviously, we've got the little taps that you can put on the trees. We've got arches, which can gather a little bit of sap, but there's no creatures that could just like hit redwoods trees and give you sap right now, from what I know at least. So yeah, this is going to be a fantastic creature to do that, which is, I mean, kind of useful. Sap is kind of annoying to get sometimes if you want to make a lot of kibbles, so it's kind of nice to have a creature that's going to be able to just gather just tons of it for you. And then the last thing that we know is that obviously this is going to be a creature that can counter armor. This is actually a common trait between all 3 of the new creatures. They all have some way of countering armor sets, which is just a very strange thing for them to do, but I don't know, they might have something here, you know. A lot of people really wanted a good counter for tech, and I mean, this definitely seems like it. So it seems like when you rip off the spines, it kind of lets out like a wave of energy that probably like disables tech or something like that for a couple seconds. I don't exactly know how this will work. That's just kind of what I gather from what I'm reading right here. So that is the Amargasaurus. What do you guys think about this creature? Honestly, I'm really excited for it. It's a big sauropod. I like sauropods. We should have had more of them in the game. we only have, what is it, like, I guess technically 3 so far. We have the Bronto, we have the Titanosaur, we have the Diplo. Like, we need more giant creatures like this. This is, you know, one of the things that people think of when they think of like Jurassic Park and stuff. I can't believe we still don't have the Brachy though. I know we have a skin, that doesn't count. Anyway, let's move on to the Dinopithecus. I believe Dinopithecus has been changed by ARK life. This species is definitely larger than I remember from the fossil record, and these oversized baboons show a more pack-oriented behavior than I would have expected in their kind. Whole troops will organize around an alpha and fall apart if that alpha is slain. Though they seem to prefer a diet of fruit supplemented with the occasional bit of meat, Dinopithecus are opportunistic and will eat just about anything. They're also excellent climbers. I've seen them scramble up sheer cliff faces and leap between trees to scavenge food for their troop. Dinopithecus will bear sharp teeth and toss well-aimed handfuls of their own excrement when provoked. Their feces is what really sets the species apart. They've managed to weaponize a parasite in it that disables tech. I feel like this parasite deserves its own dossier. If you manage to tame enough Dinopithecus, you'll soon find yourself with a small troop at your disposal. Your mini troop will organize around the strongest of your tames, their new alpha, that can direct them at a target with a shrieked battle cry. No need to saddle your tamed Dinopithecus to ride it. It will make one for you using its own tail. Just hold on tight and it will take you straight up walls and across zip lines. In battle, Dinopithecus will fling fecal projectiles, grenades, or a combination that I like to call EBM, for explosive bowel movement. Okay, so what did we learn from this dossier? Well, first of all, this is again a really good creature for traveling around. You're going to be able to go up trees, cliffs, and everything. It's going to be a really useful creature to just run around with. It's kind of interesting though, because it doesn't actually have its own saddle. It's going to basically hold you with its own tail, just like slightly above its back maybe, or maybe on its back, which kind of sounds a little bit interesting, but it also kind of like pushes it down the tier of creatures, because creatures that don't have saddles generally are a lot easier to kill. So I'm curious if we're going to be able to put helmets on them instead. So of course we've learned that this is another creature that can disable tech. Its poop is basically just going to disable your tech if it gets into the armor. I'm curious as well, like it says tech. It doesn't say tech armor, so it obviously will disable your tech armor, but will it also have the ability to like shut down a generator for a time if you hit like the poop onto the generator, or just other tech things? I have no idea, but that could be really, really interesting if it actually could do that. So again, obviously it has the ability to throw projectile poop, grenades just by themselves as well, or you can probably craft it on the inside of the Dinopithecus, but you're going to be able to basically shove a grenade into poop and then throw that at the enemy. That just sounds horrifying, and I'm kind of glad that these monkeys will not have just grenades at their disposal out in the wild. At least I hope they don't. That sounds terrifying. But just in general though, like this honestly sounds like a really fun creature. One thing that I kind of get the impression of when I'm reading this dossier is like, yeah, you have to obviously, you know, tame some of them, but it almost kind of seems like if you tame some, wild ones will join your cause and kind of like join your little pack. And if that's a thing, then that sounds absolutely insane. It could be kind of similar to the Uteranus, which is able to kind of recruit Carnos for a little bit of time. If you use the Courage Roar around wild Carnos, they're gonna basically become your tames for a couple minutes, and it can be pretty useful. But I don't know, if we could do that again with these things, that could be pretty insane, because I don't know, like just being able to like throw a bunch of the wild creatures that can just jump up cliffs and stuff like that at the enemy, I don't know, it sounds interesting to me. So that's just kind of an impression I'm getting. I'm not saying that's confirmed or anything, but I don't know, what do you guys think about all that? Anyway, let's move on to the final creature, the Sinomacrops, I don't know. Sinomacrops bondi is a friendly and curious little pterosaur. It may approach and investigate unfamiliar creatures, but Sinomacrops does spook easily. When threatened, it will unfurl its wings to reveal dematic eye spots in an attempt to confuse or scare predators away. Still, Sinomacrops seems to be a highly intelligent creature that craves social interaction. While it's normally curious and friendly, Sinomacrops' adorable oversized mouth turns into a deadly weapon at the slightest sight and smell of insects. Even alone, this little critter can take down insects far larger than itself. Unfortunately, this means that armor made from chitinous plates is going to trigger an attack response from an otherwise sweethearted pterosaur. Taming a Sinomacrops is fairly straightforward, in theory. Just feed them without scaring them. Once tamed, they absolutely love traveling with their humans and prefer to cling to them whenever possible. Not only are they sociable, but they're fiercely protective once bonded. Any small creature approaching someone with a Sinomacrops will be met with its flashing eye spots and a piercing shriek. That's usually enough to stun an undersized interloper. For such a small flyer, Sinomacrops can carry surprisingly heavy loads. It can even support the weight of a fully grown human adult, though it will struggle to gain altitude. Still, any creature companion that can double as a glider and a parachute is invaluable for anyone traversing an ARK, as long as they bring plenty of snacks for their new friend. Okay, so let's unpack these Sinomacrops a little bit here. So first of all, friendly creature, it's gonna come up to you, but if you're wearing chitin armor, it's gonna just absolutely attack you. So don't wear chitin armor, I guess. I'm curious if this is also going to kind of relate to if you have like a, say like a chitin helmet on a Gigantopithecus, will it attack the Gigantopithecus, or is it only gonna be triggered by humans wearing it? I guess we'll have to find out. So this whole chitin trigger thing is pretty similar to the rage mode that we get from Megatheriums. I really doubt this little thing's gonna be able to do what a Megatherium can do. Obviously, it's gonna do a lot less damage if it can, but I don't know, it sounds pretty interesting. If you had like a pack of these things, you could probably, you know, go caving with them if you wanted to. I'm pretty curious how it would actually work if, you know, you had one tamed and you were wearing chitin armor. Would it just constantly be in its triggered mode, or I have no idea. But yeah, I really want to do some testing with this thing once it comes out. So one really interesting thing that it can do, of course, is it's going to be able to just counter and stun any of the small annoying creatures that we all hate that are coming for you. So let's make a little list here. Ichthyes, it's going to be able to stun them. Pegos, Microraptors, like packs of compies, you know, all of these small creatures, and maybe even Troodons. Oh my god, that would be amazing. I just thought about this while editing. Noglins, it's gonna be able to probably stun Noglins as well. Oh my god, this is gonna be a game changer for the PvP guys, because I know you guys hate those Noglins. Or maybe do you love them? Maybe it's a love-hate relationship. But all these small creatures that, you know, they're not that dangerous, but they're pretty annoying. It's gonna be able to just get rid of these creatures for you, or I guess stun them and then allow you to be able to kill them. Who knows though, they might all just run off as soon as they're done being stunned. But yeah, just something like this just it sounds amazing, because I absolutely hate Microraptors. I always get Microraptored at the worst possible times, so this is a perfect creature for me. So it's also going to be a really nice creature that has like a little backpack. You're going to be able to obviously put items into it. I wonder if you're going to be able to access it without actually having to throw it down. That would be interesting. I've always wanted that for shoulder pets, because they need to do that. It would be amazing. But just in general, like, it's going to be able to act as a glider as well. Very different from the Archa. Obviously, you know, the Archa is kind of like a weird little parachute and you move super slow with it, but this is going to be a full-fledged glide suit essentially, and then also a parachute as well. So I don't know, it sounds like a really fun creature to just run around with. I mean, all of these creatures sound great for just, you know, traversing arcs and stuff like that, and just, I don't know, I'd always want one of these things on my shoulder when I'm playing on this arc, because I imagine that there's probably going to be quite a few different areas that they're going to be useful in. Also, it's probably not going to be the worst thing to tame. I mean, I can pretty much say it right now. This is going to be a passive tame. I mean, it pretty much says it right there, but I don't know. I'm actually really excited for it. I was very against this when I saw it in the creature vote, but that was mainly because I didn't want it to win. I wanted some actual, you know, dinosaur to win, but now we have our dinosaur that we all voted for, and then, you know, we have this on top, which isn't a bad thing. And I've seen a lot of negativity about this. Like, come on, guys. It's gonna be a cool creature. Like, you can't deny that these abilities are good. You know, who knows, maybe you might come around as soon as you actually get to use it, but I don't know, I'm actually really excited for it. Okay, so let's talk about the map itself. So first of all, I just want to mention this straight off the bat. What we see here is a super old version of the map. In fact, this is only 35% complete. And obviously there was map updates planned, but then Wildcard snagged this mod as an official map, so obviously, you know, he's not going to be updating it at all. But what I see so far is really nice. Like, I get real like Valkyro kind of Ragnarok vibes from it so far, so I'm really digging that. We've got nice little like pass-through caves all over the place, like this one right here. It's like a little like tunnel. I just love the vibes that I'm getting right here. There's also just tons of like little castles and little structures kind of dotted around the map as well. We've got kind of like a little tower over here, which looks really cool. Just like lots and lots of stuff all over the place like this. Like, it definitely gives me Ragnarok vibes, even just what I'm looking at right here. Just crazy Ragnarok vibes. And Ragnarok's my favorite map, so this is going to probably maybe contend with that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we've got lovely castles up here. Look at this. This is crazy looking. Some of it's a little bit more built up and not broken, but you know what? We have like a couple little broken bits all over the place. One thing I definitely noticed from this map is that it feels like kind of almost like an RP/PvE style map, a little bit more than like a PvP style map, although obviously, you know, PvP doesn't have to specifically be a certain kind of map. I think you guys will probably make use of it anyway. This castle will load in a second, and for some reason this one always gives me major lag spikes, so I think there's something underground or something. So if you see major lag spikes, that's what it's from. And as you can see here, we've got like, yeah, there we go. That, I don't know what that is. There's something here. I think it's under. I don't know. I could investigate at some point. But we've got like these crazy little like buildings here. They've got like full on like interiors and everything, which is awesome looking. Lovely castle though, for sure. I really like this area, and I would probably like to build in here as well, actually. So lots of areas like this. I'm trying to think of what else I found. There's tons and tons of caves, obviously, but there's also ice wyverns somewhere around over here. Whereabouts were they? They're definitely somewhere around here. I can't exactly. There we go, right here. Pretty large ice wyvern-y area. I like it for sure. We've got a couple little cubbies around here. There's probably going to be some more of the different types of wyverns as well, but that area right there is specifically just for the ice ones, and we've got like an event colored one that's cool and red and everything. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really digging this map. You know, we've seen the screenshots. They show a little bit more of an updated version as well. There's one of them in particular that kind of shows a volcanic area, and as you can see, that is not complete at all. So I'm really excited to see what he's got in store for us with this map. I wonder if Wildcard has helped out at all as well. That could be kind of cool. I don't know, but yeah, I'm really digging this. One thing I really like actually is the jungly kind of area over here. This is insane looking. Wait for it to kind of like load in properly. Is this loaded in fully? I think it might be. Oh, this is going into the redwoods. There we go. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm getting really nice vibes from right here. Like, this looks awesome. One thing I can't find is that little temple that we see in the screenshot, so that must also be new. But yeah, I don't know. Just crazy cool vibes from around here. Very excited to check out this area. And you know what? The freaking Dinopithecus are probably going to be in that redwoods, I would say. I don't know where the Amargasaurus would be, but I would probably say the Sinomacrops is probably going to be around this area here. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? This looks really cool to me. It really does. And then obviously we've got tons of area over here that is not even touched at all. Like, all of this right here needs to be done. We've got a desert over there. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about the map? Let me know down below. And what do you guys think about all the creatures as well? Which one do you think is the coolest one? Next up, let's talk about the boss arena. I have no idea what this actually might be, because I mean, we had a pretty custom creature for the boss on Crystal Isles. We had like the Crystal Queen, whatever she's called. It was a cool boss fight and all. It's a nice like boss creature, but I'm curious if they're going to give us another custom-ish creature, or if they're just going to do another, you know, what they've done on like Ragnarok and like the Center and then Valkyro as well, where they just get all these bosses and then chuck them together. I think that because we have the Dinopithecus, we might be able to expect maybe like a Megapithecus with Dinopithecus as its minions or something like that. I have no idea, but that's just kind of something that I'm getting. Like, this whole map is kind of like a, like, you know, a jungly kind of feel to it, and then obviously we have, you know, the Dinopithecus. So I don't know, Megapithecus boss fight with like Dinopithecus Gigantopithecus, and then Mesopithecus. Oh my god, I keep saying that. Like, they all have the same little like bit at the very end. It feels weird to say all of those in a row. But anyway, yeah, if we had that as like the boss fight, I don't know, that could be kind of interesting. Maybe just like a different one though, if they did some sort of like staged boss fight instead of just, you know, here's the giant boss, shove all your Rexes in and get them to bite at it for 5 minutes, you know, that type of thing. I'm a big fan of like staged boss fights in ARK, you know, the ones where you have to do this thing for a little bit of time and then you have to do something else and then you get to fight the boss again, that type of stuff. So I don't know, that's kind of my thought on the boss fight, but I don't know, what do you guys think we're actually gonna get? Is it gonna be just another, you know, another like creature that we already have, like another boss that we've already, you know, fought, or is it going to be something new, or is it going to be basically what I just said? I have no idea, but let me know what you guys think about that down below. Okay, so next up, let's talk about when this is going to release. So there is no confirmed release date. They did say later this year when they announced it, but here's my thinking. I believe, okay, just my thoughts, I believe that it's probably going to launch around the start of November, because we have the Extra Life charity stream that we do every single year. The whole community gets together, we raise a lot of money for sick kids, and Wildcard usually has some sneaky surprises for us. Last year they dropped TLC 3, and I'm thinking maybe this year they might end up dropping the Lost Island DLC around that time, maybe before, maybe after, who knows, but I feel like it's gonna come out around that time. So again, that's not confirmed, just my thoughts. But then yeah, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this DLC. I mean, there's not a whole lot else. I'm really excited for all the creatures. I'm glad that we're getting more than just one this time. I'm really excited for this map. I can't wait to see it complete. And I'm excited to see whatever kind of boss fight we're actually gonna get out of this one. Hopefully it's gonna be something that we haven't actually seen before, but who knows? Anyway, guys, that is it for today. If you have enjoyed this video, go ahead, do me a favor, hit the like button. Let's get us to 1 million. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you watched this far in the video and you're not subscribed, then just go ahead and do it. Clearly you enjoyed something. But yeah, that is it, and I will catch you in the next one.